50,000 people just lost their jobs to AI. And here's what should scare you. This isn't tech layoffs. This isn't cost cutting. This is the first wave of companies openly saying, we don't need humans for this anymore. Meta cut 15,000 people. Microsoft cut 15,000. Salesforce cut 4,000 customer support reps and openly admitted automation now does the work. If you're thinking, my job is safe, you need to watch this. We're not talking about the future. We're talking about January 2025, right now. While most people were still saying AI will change work eventually, companies were already replacing entire workflows. Salesforce didn't trim fat. They didn't cut underperformers. They eliminated 4,000 experienced customer support reps because AI agents can now handle the entire support workflow from intake to resolution without human involvement. This is different from every previous tech disruption. When computers came along, they made knowledge workers more productive. When the internet came along, it created new kinds of work. But AI isn't just changing how we work. It's eliminating the work itself. The companies deploying AI agents right now are seeing 30 to 90% time reductions on tasks like audits, research, and report writing. Novo Nordisk generates clinical reports in 10 minutes instead of 10 weeks. That's not an improvement, that's a different business model. Here's what everyone gets wrong. They think AI is coming for entry-level jobs first. They think this is slow. They think they have time to figure it out. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Salesforce didn't cut junior interns. They cut experienced support reps. Meta didn't eliminate low performers. They cut 5 to 8% of their entire workforce, including AI researchers. The jobs being eliminated aren't the ones that require the least skill. They're the ones that follow the most predictable patterns. Customer support, report writing, document analysis, code review. These were considered stable white-collar careers. Now they're being automated end-to-end. People think AI replaces tasks and humans keep jobs. That's not what's happening. AI is replacing entire workflows. When an AI agent can handle a support ticket from start to finish, you don't need the human who managed that workflow. When AI can generate a clinical report in 10 minutes, you don't need the weeks of human labor. This isn't automation like factory robots. This is cognitive automation. It's replacing thinking, judgment, and decision-making. Let me make this concrete. An AI agent isn't just ChatGPT writing an email for you. An AI agent is a system that can research your problem, access your company's database, draft the response, check it against policy, send it to the customer, log the interaction, and escalate to a human only if something truly unusual happens. That's what Salesforce deployed. That's what eliminated 4,000 jobs. 78% of Global 2000 companies are now using these agents in production. 88% increased their AI budgets specifically for agent capabilities. This isn't experimental anymore, this is operational. And here's the part that should wake you up. 81% of these companies aren't betting on one AI. They're using 3 or more models. OpenAI for writing, Claude for coding, Gemini for multimodal tasks. They're treating AI like a toolbox, not a single tool.
Let me give you the specific examples because abstractions don't scare people. Specifics do. Salesforce, 4,000 customer support positions eliminated. Not restructured, not reassigned. Eliminated. Their statement, automation now performs a large share of routine work. Novo Nordisk, clinical reports that used to take 10 weeks now take 10 minutes. That's not about cost, that's about capability. 10-week reports enable monthly reviews. 10-minute reports enable real-time clinical decisions. Completely different business. Meta, 15,000 roles cut across the company, including AI researchers. Even the people building AI aren't safe when the company needs to restructure around it. Microsoft, 12,000 to 15,000 positions eliminated as they integrate AI across every product line. And here's what's not in the headlines. These companies are hiring AI agent managers, AI human handoff specialists, and workflow engineers. New roles are emerging, but they're not the same roles. There's no direct transfer. The support rep doesn't become the agent manager. They become unemployed. If you're an individual, your job is not safe if it involves following a process to produce an output. Customer service, financial analysis, legal document review, medical coding, content moderation, these are all being automated right now. The people who survive won't be the fastest writers or the most productive coders. They'll be the people who know when to use AI, how to verify its work, and what to do when AI fails. The premium is shifting from output to judgment. If you're a manager, you need to have direct conversations with your team about AI, not eventually. Now, because if you don't, fear will fuel rumors, productivity will drop, and your best people will leave for companies ahead of the curve. If you're a leader, you can't wait for clarity. By the time AI's impact on your industry is obvious, you'll be too far behind to catch up. The companies winning right now aren't the ones with the best AI, they're the ones who deployed fastest. If you're an individual, your job is not safe. If it involves following a process to produce an output, customer service, financial analysis, legal document review, medical coding, content moderation, these are all being automated right now. The people who survive won't be the fastest writers or the most productive coders. They'll be the people who know when to use AI, how to verify its work, and what to do when AI fails. The premium is shifting from output to judgment. If you're a manager, you need to have direct conversations with your team about AI, not eventually, now, because if you don't, fear will drive rumors, productivity will drop, and your best people will leave for companies that are ahead of this curve. If you're a leader, you can't wait for clarity. By the time AI's impact on your industry is obvious, you'll be too far behind to catch up. The companies winning right now aren't the ones with the best AI. They're the ones who deployed fastest. Here's what you do in the next 30 days. If you work in an office, identify the part of your job that involves following rules to produce output. That's your automation risk. Now spend 30 minutes a day actually using AI for that work, not experimenting, using document one workflow you complete with AI. That's your proof of concept. That's your job security. If you manage people, have one conversation this week with each direct report about AI. What's their automation risk? What's their AI augmentation opportunity? Don't make them guess. Lead with transparency. If you lead a company, audit 3 workflows that could be agent automated. Pick one, pilot it this month, not next quarter, this month, because your competitors are already doing it. If you're in sales, stop doing manual prospecting. Stop cold outreach. Buyers now have AI agents filtering their email and doing vendor research. If your pitch sounds like something AI could generate, it will be ignored. Lead with implications, not features. What happens to their business when they adopt this? What happens if they don't? Here's the thing I need you to remember. In 2023, you could say, AI is interesting. I'll learn it when it matters. In 2024, you could say, let me experiment and see what sticks. In January 2025, 50,000 people discovered that later arrived without warning. The people being laid off weren't lazy. They weren't incompetent. They were normal. They assumed their job would change gradually. They assumed they'd get warning signs. They assumed strategic meant slow. They were wrong. AI is the power tool for knowledge work. The carpenter who mastered the power saw didn't become less of a carpenter. They became carpenters who could build houses instead of birdhouses. But the carpenter who rejected the power saw they went out of business. The window for figuring this out later just closed. The only question now is whether you'll catch up or get caught out. Please like and follow to get new weekly published AI videos like this one. Thanks for your support.